Hello students, welcome to the session on DBMS. In our previous lecture, we have discussed what is data, what is database and what is DBMS. Just do remember those particular terms. Why? Because they are very important in order to understand your subject. Okay, now let us come into the point. In our today's session, we are going to learn the types of database. See, the types of database will be categorized based on the things that you are considering. Means to say number of users, means to say type of usage, means to say type of location. Okay, different based on different things we will be categorizing our databases. Means to say types of databases will be different from the things that we are considering. Okay, in that way only we are continue with this particular topic. Database, what is the definition for database? Database is nothing but a collection of interrelated and integrated data, I can say. Means to say that we will be having a collection of data which is interrelated to one another. So consider if we are saying student database will consist of student details only, like student number, student name, student ID. Everything is related to what? Your student. Like that, we will be having interrelated data over here. Based on that, we will be storing the data onto that particular database. If you are having faculty details, we will be storing that at the faculty database. If you are having some news details, we will be storing that at the news database. Like that, we will be categorizing the database according to the related database. We will be storing the data into the database. Now, coming to the point, that is the types of database. I can categorize these databases based on the number of users. What I can do? Number of users. By considering this particular topic, we can categorize our databases. The first thing that I am going to consider is users. Who are the users? We are the users. Those who are utilizing databases, they are nothing but users. Right? Based on them, I am categorizing my database. The first thing that I am going to categorize is single user database. Single user database. As the name itself is suggesting us that only one user should attend, only one user should use the database at a time. Then that particular database is called as what? Single user database. Only one user is allowed to use the database. Means to say that if you people are using the database and I am also willing to use the database, if it is already accessed by you people, I should wait for my turn. Means to say that if we are having P, Q, R users, if the P is accessed the database, then Q and R should wait. Why? Because it is already accessed by a single user. That is the reason we are calling that as what? Single user. Mean to say that we are allowing only one user to access that particular database. Only one person can do the action onto that particular database. So that we will be calling that as what? Single user database. And the second one is desktop database. Desktop database. These are the databases that you are using currently. Means to say that you people will be having your laptops, you people will be having your personal computers, you people will be having your desktops. So that particular database is used by you people. Okay, which will be located in only one system, which will be accessed by you people. That particular kind of database is called as desktop database. I hope it is clear. Right. I can say personal computer database is also called as desktop database. Means to say that only onto that particular system we will be accessing that particular database. This is how we will be categorizing the database based on the users. This is the user who is using his personal computer, so he will be having his database. That's the reason we are saying that. And then next you see, you people will be having work group means to say that you people will be gathering a group of students, you people will be gathering group of faculty, you people will be gathering group of workers, those who belongs to same department. They can access a limited data, only department details that can access. No, such kind of databases are called as work group databases. What it is? Work group databases. Work group databases means to say that a department details or as a limited group of people can access that particular database. Those kind of databases will fall under what? They are work group databases. Consider that you people are having sales executive department. They can access those particular details only. They cannot access the salary details of the employee. Right? Then those particular databases which are accessible by those particular group, they are called as work group databases. Means to say that they are having the right to access the particular database, those group of people. Okay, they cannot access other details. Such kind of work group databases will fall under those particular candidates, those particular group items. Okay, group of people can access this particular databases. Okay, in this way we will be having what? Work group databases. Okay, now we have done the single user database, desktop database, and work group databases. I hope it is clear to you people. We will go for one more time, which is desktop users only. I will write here. You can see now. Enterprise database means what? You people will be having the organization. Consider our college will be having the database, and in that we will be having different departments like BSc, BCom, and several groups will be there, and everyone will be having their own databases. Entire organization can access this particular database. So such kind of database is called as enterprise database. Complete organization can access what? Can access this data. Okay, can access this enterprise database. Means to say that you people will be having multiple users. Multiple users can access the same database at the same time, and which is related to that particular organization. Here also we will be having multiple users in a work group where they can access that particular group of data only. Okay, here in this we are having a vast amount of data which can be accessed by multiple users at a time. I hope it is clear. Right? This is single user, desktop user, and work group users and enterprise users, I can say. Okay, based on the users we have categorized this. Okay, now I will go for based on the location. Based on the location, how many people will be categorized in the databases. Now I will go for that. I hope these are clear. Okay, in a single sentence you need to remember. This question will not come, but it is very necessary in order to understand the further concepts. Right? We will be seeing few more types, but which will be included in procedures secondly in SQL. Okay, but the second one is location. Based on what we are categorizing, based on the location where we are storing that particular database. Okay, this location, based on this particular location, I can categorize this database into two types. One is centralized database. And the second one is distributed databases. See, as the name itself suggesting that we will be having a centralized system, centralized site, where people will be storing all the databases in order to access, in order to retrieve, in order to perform the operation. We'll be going for those particular centralized databases in order to perform the operations. We'll be having a centralized site are on a single site. We will be storing the particular database. We are going to store the data. We are not going to store the database. See, try to understand this terminology, right? Centralized site, single site, or else a single site will be chosen onto which we will be storing our databases. Whenever we need that particular database, we will go for this particular site and we will be requesting them to give the data. We will be requesting them to perform the operation. So every time we will be going to this particular site, we will be going for that particular location and we will be accessing that. We will be storing that particular data once and we will be retrieving and we will be updating and we will be doing all the operations onto that particular centralized data. We won't distribute that. Okay? And try to understand the second one so that you people will be having the clarity onto the book. Okay, distributed database means we will be distributing the data, whatever the database that it consists, that will be distributed onto the multiple sites. Multiple sites will be given with the database. So many sites will be there, so many locations will be there. They will be sharing the database in order to store, so that it can reduce the data. It can reduce the burden, I can say. That is what we are distributed database. Multiple sites will be used in order to store the database, in order to perform the operations, in order to communicate with the systems. We will be using what? Multiple sites, so that every system will be holding some data about the databases. So that will be called as distributed. Why we are calling the name as distributed means we are distributing the database to what? Multiple sites. That is the reason we are calling that as distributed database. In a centralized database system, you can think that server and clients. This is the server where we are storing the database and clients will be requesting for the data. But in this particular case, every system will be working as a client and server because we are distributing the database between the multiple users, multiple sites, you can say. That is the reason it is called as distributed database. I hope it is clear to you people based on the location. And there is this. Now, coming to the next point, based on the operations that we want to perform onto the database, we will be categorizing them. Okay? Based on what? Operations. Or as type of usage, I can say. What is the type of usage? How you people are going to use the database. How you people are going to use the data that has been stored into your databases. Type of usage, I can say. Type of usage. As I said, you people, type of operations that you can perform onto your database. Based on that, we are categorizing our databases. The first one that I can do is operational database. And then see here, in this we are having a title called operational database. As the name itself suggesting us, we are going to do the operations onto our database. We will be having lot of functions that we will perform onto our database. Those operations will be performed frequently. Consider a bank details where we will be having large amount of data which is regarding your customers. Okay, every customer will be having the account, every customer will be having the details, every customer will be doing the transaction, lot of transactions in a single day. So every day they are doing some operation. One or the other way they will be performing the operation. They can use any kind of applications in order to perform those particular operations. But operations will be performed on day-to-day activities will be performed on your database now. That is the reason we are calling them as operational database. In this database, day-to-day activities, day-to-day operations will be performed. Day-to-day operations will be performed onto the database. Operation will be performed onto the database. And the second one, you see, here day-to-day activity is what? Whatever the thing that you want to do, update, delete, insert, whatever the operation that you want to perform onto the database, that will be done day to day, minute to minute, second to second, I can say. That can be updated by using what? Operational databases. Okay, and the second one, you see, we will be talking about the data warehouse. Data warehouse. What do you mean by data warehouse? It is a place where we will be storing the data. It is a place where we will be storing the databases for a long period of time. Say consider 10 years, 15 years, so many years. Okay. So when we are storing that kind of data, we will be having the analyzation power. So we can analyze that particular history, we can analyze that particular data in order to take the typical decisions, I can say, in our business, in our whatever the thing, in which you are applying your database system, in that the typical decisions will be taken based on your data processes. Where you people will be having lot of data that has to be analyzed, that has to be stored onto your databases, so that you can analyze them in order to take the typical decisions, I can say. Say suppose what happened at this particular time before 10 years, what happened at this particular time before 100 years. You people can analyze it. After analyzing it, so many decisions will be taken by the program, so that they can program their applications, right? In that way, we will be using this data process, right? Lot of amount for a long period. It will be stored. It will be used for storing large amount of data for a long period. For what? For taking the decision, for analyzing the data. This is how we will be utilizing your databases, and we are categorizing your databases based on your number of users, based on your location, based on the type of usage cases, so that you will be having a clarity how we are going to categorize it. We will be having types of databases like hierarchical databases. Those will be explained to you people based on the SQL concepts that we will discuss in our upcoming lectures. That's it for now. See you in the next one.